Hallo, wie geht's? Guten Tag. Hi. Good day. Just a little German for you guys. Welcome to Friday's version of TaylorBOTICS. And today's going to be a little different. There will be no daily feature. We're not going to add anything new. I'm going to take more questions and answer more questions for you guys because I got some really good ones for today. And then this way we can move on to the, I don't have it up here, to the ultrasonic sensor on Monday. Now that's the one that I took the son into the school and it was able to use that echolocation. We'll dive into that on Monday. But I do have a shout out. Now, I was hoping there'd be more shout outs, but I have a shout out that I've kind of combined with our coronavirus fact. This comes from Ernie, and I have to say I love all those emojis that you put on the attendance. So, pretty funny. It says, Mr. Taylor, according to a news report, the coronavirus is creating clearer waters and cleaner air due to most people not working at factories. Well, this is true. This is true. I first heard about this, about cleaning up the environment, in relation to Venice, Italy. Venice has lots of canals. There's no cars. Everything, you travel by boat and all of that. Mrs. Taylor and I went to Venice last summer. And we landed in the airport. Then we had to take about a 20-minute boat ride to get to the island. And canals and everything up. So, I mean, here's a few pictures of when we were there. Now, I'm sure you noticed the water, a little murky, looked kind of like lake water. But here are some current photos since the coronavirus outbreak and how everybody's having to be quarantined and stay in their homes. And so there's not boats and gondolas and all this traffic around. So take a look at this. It's like night and day right there. So Ernie, thank you for sending that in. And it's true. The less factors that contribute to pollution operating, the less pollution there's going to be. And it would be helpful for our environment. So I do have two memes for you today. The first one comes from Gavin. And this one was pretty funny. Let's take a look at it right now. I'm glad that Gavin wrote a little description in here. And I think it's pretty funny too that I'm a robotics teacher and I have a library behind me. So if anybody has any suggestions of what this green screen should be like next week, I'll probably change it weekly. Keep it something new, something whatever. Send me those suggestions. I'll pick the best one and you'll see that on Monday. But Gavin's meme says, you know, modern technology, books, a writing pen, and then he put monocle on me. So it was like, so awesome. The next meme comes from Josephine. And this was pretty good. A little bit longer of a description. So I'm going to read it before I show you the picture. So it says, I don't want to know why that person is dancing in front of the window, but I have to. Just when I thought it was a quiet day, I really need to stop jinxing myself. And here's the meme. So yeah, this brings back memories of me just poking out my door to see if everybody's working in the hallway, and either somebody in the gym is dancing or somebody in the hallways dancing. So good meme. Moving right along. Today, like I said, no daily feature. We're gonna do, I think I have 4 different questions. 2 of them are combined, but 4 different questions we're gonna answer. So let's take a look now. All right, for our first question, I'm actually going to answer 2 questions in one because I had 2 students send in questions that I felt like were connected to each other. Tyler sent in the question, would the color sensor be able to pick up ultraviolet light if you shined a UV flashlight on the robot? Now, I don't have a UV flashlight. I just got a normal one. But we have a natural source of ultraviolet rays, that being the sun. Now it's been cloudy most of the day, but you know, the sun is peeking out every now and then. So I'm going to set up some tests. I'm not going to show you the code as I create it. I've already got it created. I'm going to go to the kitchen table. We're going to test it inside just so you can see the ambient light there. But then also we're going to start, and this is how you would determine the value that you're going to use. We're going to start at one number. We're going to test it. Then we're going to go up. We're going to test it. Going to go up, test it. And then I also want to go low enough to see just when it would keep going. The second question that goes with that before we go and test is from Noah. Noah, whoo! Question number 3. Awesome. If you set Brock Lesnar, Brock Lesnar, the beast, Suplex City. If you set Brock Lesnar outside on a pretty nice day, can the sun activate it? If so, then do you know how much % of the light it is? So again, goes back to what we're going to do, and what we're going to be testing is we're going to set it at one value, and if it works, we're going to keep going up till it doesn't work. So I'm going to head to the kitchen table now. All right, guys. So I changed the code up a little bit, and I don't have a screencast of it, so I'm just going to walk you through it real quick. So I changed this right here. Instead of less than, I have greater than or equal to. And so what I used in the switch is if it's greater than or equal to the amount of light. So remember, 0 is dark, 100 is light. So if it's greater than or equal to 70% light, then it's going to do this code. I have it go forward, turn, and then forward again. Now, if it's not, meaning if it's too dark, it's going to be stopped. So right now I have it on at 70. So let's see if it works with the flashlights. Oh, it'd be good to start the code, Mr. Taylor. So now, flashlight. And it works. Got it. So it works with the flashlight. Now, let's take a look to see if it will work outside. It's not that bright on a sunny day. Let's see. So there we go. The ultraviolet rays of the sun will respond with our color sensor and start the program. And I want to see. I'm just going to flip it upside down. And it stops. So that works. So we know it works. Let me stop the program. We know it works at 70. But I want to see how bright or how high the sun's rays. And I mean, it's a cloudy day out there, as you can see. Not that sunny. Maybe we'll get some when we go out and test again. So I want to test it again, and because I'm just trial and error, trying to figure it out, trying to determine. So I'm gonna up it to 80. 80, 80, 80. I'm gonna run it. All right, so as you guys can see, as I finish answering this question, the sun comes out now, naturally. That's how things work. But I hope this answers the question about what percentage do you need to set it on for it to be activated by the sun's light, which is ultimately your ultraviolet rays, your UV rays. And as you can see, even as bright as it is out here, it wouldn't activate on 100. So that light's got to be really, really bright. So it's somewhere between 90 and 100. And what you would just do to figure that out is you would just start going up in smaller increments. Maybe try 95. If that doesn't work, then go back down. So you got that area between 90 and 95 to test it. So hope that answers your question. Let's look at the next one. Okay. Our next question comes from Becky. Becky, who is responsible for Brock Lesnar. But her question is, you talked about the robot following a line. And yes, I did. And we're going to get into that hopefully next week. Is there a way a robot can make a line? For example, detect a spot on the ground and then make that line. There's not an attachment that the robot can make a line, but being in an engineering mindset that we are and thinking of the engineering design process, remember this? I went to work, so I had my problem. My problem was, how can I make a robot that's going to be able to create a line after it uses the color sensor to detect a spot? So, here is what I came up with. So you can see my prototype of what I did to determine. We got the color sensor right there. We got an attachment. Now, some of you guys, if you did that cargo retrieval, you use this. So what this is going to do is, I'm going to create a program, and I'm going to show you guys that in just a second. But I'm going to have the robot move forward till it detects something dark. Then it's going to use the small motor right there to lower the pin and then drive forward and create a line. So let's take a look at the code and then we'll test it out. All right, guys, here is the code I have for the dark spot detector, then line creator. So I have, my first block is to go forward. Now, I was guilty of this. I started with the default of 50 and the color sensor went straight over it. So with the EDP, you can go back to any step. These tires weren't working. So I tested and tried, and I think I got a program, but the tires just weren't working, and the color sensor on the side right here wasn't working. So I put on the big tires, and I developed a system underneath that will hold the color sensor at about the right, it could be a little bit lower, but about the right height to be able to detect the black spot. And then this is gonna come down, and hey, I'm gonna have to adjust this too because it's not even gonna hit the paper, and then go forward. So let me adjust this. I'll show you my code, and then we will test it. I've slowed it down some. I have here, so anything less than 10, so I mean the dark spotted tape is going to be less than 10. Then the wheels are going to stop, then it's going to lower the arm, and then it's going to go forward for 2.5 rotations, and then it's going to do a tank spin for 5 rotations. So it should create a circle. Now, one thing I haven't done is I have not tested it after I added the wheels. So let's do this together. Let's just see what's going to happen. All right, guys, here's our test. Oh, there's Elsie getting some water. So here's our test. Let's see what's going to happen. I have no clue. Oh, okay. So there we go. When it saw that black line, it stopped, and then I had a program to lower the arm, and it looks like it's pretty good. Good thing I didn't have the marker on. I don't think Miss Taylor would like me having a big old circle on the floor. So let me set up another test area. Let's get this. Let's go with our test and see if this works. Let me go click the pin on. Live action. Here we go. Whoa! So we got attack of the drone, but besides the paper messing up, it looks like we were pretty successful in making, and if you look, a pretty accurate circle. So I think this question is answered. Riyadh, what do you think? Okay, yeah, I think she answered it too. Hope you guys liked that. That was really fun, especially that last test. I didn't know what was going to happen. Put the drone in there, so there's our drone sighting for the day. And then, as you saw, when that drone comes on, Riyadh comes running. She doesn't like it. Don't worry, the drone was repaired. All right, our last question of our special Q&A TaylorBOTICS comes from Isabella, and it says, will different shades of a certain color affect the color sensor? So I was like, I know they will, but how am I going to test that? So I went out to my local hardware store and picked up some paint. I think these are what, paint? Not samples, paint splotches, I don't know. And they have all different colors. And we are going to test it. So I'm going to try the video in the screencast again to show you. Now I'm going to use the reflected light intensity so that we can see the different ones. Like, I think this is going to be a very low number, but maybe yellow would probably be a higher number. So I'm going to just go into the code, and we will, took the attachment off of here, but I like how low this is, and I'm just going to set it up. I got a mat set up on my desk, and let's see if we can answer this question. I've got it set up here to just reflected light intensity. So right now it's showing on white, it's about 55 or so. And I've got my paint splotches here. It goes dark, medium, light. And we'll just take a look. We'll start with light. 57, 52, 51, and down to like 47. So, I mean, there's a 10-point discrepancy or difference between that light one and that dark. All right, let's check green out. All right, guys, no TikTok today. We had a Zoom faculty meeting, so all of us teachers and staff and administrators were on that, so didn't get to do that. But I hope you enjoyed this version of just some questions and some answers, and being able to test some things out. I really enjoy that. So keep the questions coming. Send some shout outs. We will be starting on Monday the ultrasonic sensor. So don't worry, that one's fun. I like how that one works. Don't forget, remember, as for Gavin's meme, the library back there, and I'm a robotics teacher. Send me in some of those wallpapers. What would you want to see back there? I'll pick the one of them, and we will throw that up there for next week. Hope you guys have a great weekend. I will see you Monday.